Hey everyone, it's me, Tayland, back again with another tea video. Today I'm bringing you something from the Steeping Room. This is part of their monthly subscription. I thought it'd be kind of cool to just show you the box. So, opening it up, comes with a note. January 2025 Tea Club. It tells you what it comes with. So today we have lapsang souchong, however you say that. Comes with 25 grams each of 2024 floral lapsang, smoke lapsang, and wild lapsang. And then it goes into a descriptor, what each of them is, talks about them all. So I really do appreciate that. And there's even a backside, so a lot of info on it. I always appreciate the most info I can get, especially out of pretty high-priced teas and or subscription packs like this. It comes with this real nice wrapping paper that has a sticker. Just struggle to open it real quick. This is steeping instructions, suggestions as it says. And it appears they give you different methods for every type of tea. And each tea comes in these paper pouches. Steeping Room is out of Austin, Texas. This got to me pretty quick. I got it sometime late yesterday, and I'm just getting into the video today, but today is the 4th. I think they shipped it out the 30th or 31st according to the package. So here is the wild. Nothing on the back. Here is the floral. And something I'd noticed about the Steeping Room, hold on, here is the smoked. So something I noticed about the Steeping Room is they also sell teas from other pretty popular companies. Like they have a lot of white teas. And I compared the prices, and the prices seem exactly the same as buying them from White 2 Tea. The difference is this is a Texas-based company, so you get it shipped to you way faster, whereas White 2 Tea is out of China. I don't know if they're just an authorized retail seller or if they are a reseller or how that works, but there seemingly was no price difference. So, yeah, I'm excited to try these guys. I think today... which one should I get into? I've never had this style of tea. Let me read all the descriptors and I will decide, and I will come back momentarily. Alright, so I have chosen to do the 2024 Smoked Lapsang Souchong. Here are the leaves. I can tell you they are very smoked. Open the bag, take them out. It's very strong, very smoky. I've never had a smoked tea, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But today, I'll be brewing in the porcelain gaiwan. I don't have a dedicated Yixing clay to smoked tea, nor to black tea. Let's just grab all my stuff. Alright, water is hot. We're going to do a quick wash. Very, very smoky. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how I'll feel about this. As I said, never had smoked tea, but definitely ready to give it a try. yeah, as I said, I've never had what they call it, lapsang. So that I'm new to that, and I'm new to smoked tea. Maybe it would have been smarter to try one of the other options of lapsang first, but this just seemed really interesting. All right, let me just dump out the wash. And we will go in with that first steep. Using a pretty small amount of leaves today, just because I don't really have time today to sit around and do like a hour plus session of tea. All right, we will let that sit for 15 seconds as suggested by the steeping room's instructions. And I am doing just short of boiling. The wash was basically boiling. This is just a bit more cooled off than that. Let me give a smell profile on these leaves real quick. 99% smoke. I am getting a bit of a tea/floral undertone that's kind of peeking through once after the wash. The wash, nothing was really peeking through. Now something else is peeking through a little more, but still 90% smoke. I'm wondering if it's just all going to taste like smoke. I don't know. Maybe the smoke will wear off a little as you drink more into the tea. We will see. All right, it's cooled off a bit. Let me just give it another sip. Yeah, the smoke has calmed down a bit, which I appreciate. Starting out, just smelling the leaves and just tasting it very hot. I feel like all my sinuses and everything was just filling with smoke. It was just very overpowering for trying to get any other tastes or smells or flavors. Smoke's not bad, but I also like tea, so I want some tea to peek through. And I'd say you for sure should do a wash on this, 100%. And I'd say after that wash was done, even on the scent, that tea is peeking through. A bit of floralness, a bit of tea scent. Still very strong with the smoke. I think I will do a second steep and come back and give my full thoughts and opinions. So let me just finish this first steep. I'll show you me putting in the second steep and pouring it out. Probably do another 15 to 20 seconds, maybe 20 on the steep. It'll be at 95C, and we will see how it is then. All right, we are going straight in with that second steep. I'm thinking we'll do 20 seconds this time. It is funny, the steeping room being from Texas, and the first tea I'm having from them is smoked. Lived in Texas for a bit, and a lot of good smoked meat, smoked barbecue out there. Get some brisket and all that, so it just kind of reminds me of that. It is very smoky. Reminds me of being at one of those places. I think it's kind of an interesting balance, probably trying to balance the flavor of the tea with the smoke. I imagine the smoke will wear off a bit after a few steeps, and the balance will be a little more there. Towards the end of that first steep, while the tea cooled off a bit, there was a little more tea sweetness peeking through. Black teas probably or oolong, which I think this, according to the steeping room note, is a oolong cultivar. So I'm sure that stands up pretty good to the smokiness. But smoked tea may just not be for me. The very overpowering, pungent smokiness that fills the room, fills your nostrils, fills your sinuses. Just maybe a little too much for me. I don't necessarily dislike it. It's just not something I would personally choose to have often. If you're a fan of Scotch, maybe Scottish ale, the peaty smoked, you may be a huge fan of this. Personally, if I go for Scotch, I prefer a Highland, something less smoked. So it's just based on preference. Nice color on it. It's not like hazy, very see-through, very clear. Very little dust or debris. Nice looking whole leaves. Seems like a very high quality leaf and high quality tea. I think that smoke has calmed down a bit. Still very present. Getting not a ton of tannin in the mouth, so not a ton of drying effect. Get a bit of tea sweetness, the natural sweetness poking through that smoke, balancing it out a bit. Yeah, overall, it's a good tea. I can see it being very warming, very nice with meat, very good with a meal. Maybe the smokiness might cut well through a fatty meal. Not necessarily a tea for me, but it's definitely not bad and definitely not poor quality. I've never had smoked tea. I'll probably try various ones just eventually, just to make sure it's not for me, but this is probably seemingly a higher quality smoked tea that I can get a hold of. I know you can get a hold of it in oolongs as well, which I haven't really delved into oolong yet. I will be soon, but overall, pretty solid tea, especially if you're into smokiness. Reminds me of, like I said before, smoked meat, maybe sitting around a campfire, very warming. Would cut through like a fatty meal, fatty meats very well. Might even make a good soup broth, some kind of soup. That'd be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting to cook with it. First, on the wash, very smoky. Definitely needs a wash. First steep, still quite smoky. Towards the end of that first steep, when it cooled down, I got more of that tea sweetness poking through, and the second steep, it's definitely more balanced. I think as you go, the smokiness will wear off more, and the tea will poke through more as you just steep longer. Yeah, if you really like smoke, this is the tea for you, for sure. I'll be trying these other steeping room teas probably throughout this week, and then stay tuned. That White 2 tea box should be getting here anytime in the next, I don't know, the Chinese New Year, I think, threw off the subscription, so I'm not sure when it should be getting here. Maybe 2 weeks. I'm not too positive on that, but thanks for watching. See you around.